Do you think it's bizarre that they pick the Lina into the Mars?
No, I think it's fine because she is a hero that like can still go Silver Edge and just break the Mars and kill him in a few couple big auto attacks. So it is a little bit of an issue because the arena is so good at dealing with her
Hmm.
attacks, but when the arena is not a threat, or if she's able to just stand her ground inside the arena, she's really strong.
Yeah, but even if she's standing around inside the arena, as long as people hug the walls, like we saw Sammy do
Yeah.
yesterday, then they can like severely reduce the damage coming out from her. Do you think they have enough frontline on Wildcard? With Lina, I think it's an issue that they don't have a ton of backline jump. Like Monkey King can get on the backline, even though it's a little bit tricky. Weaver's able to get back there as well, though can't deal with cores if this is run as a position 4. Like the Lina Weaver 1v1 happening on the other side of the team fight is definitely going to go in favor of Lina. So do you think they get a hero with jump as their last pick here on APU, or what?
So APU needs a mid laner, or either. Well, they just need. Never mind. It's still going to be mini on the mid lane, Monkey King. I think they do just need another safe
Probably.
lane for Benny, something that he feels comfortable with. The thing is, Wildcard do have last pick for the off lane here, so you should get the favorable lane matchup. We saw that last game. We're like, oh, they got the Darkseer into the Terrorblade lane. This should be a great Darkseer game, and then it ended up being an absolute disaster. So even with last pick for the off lane for Devi Lama, it may still not end up panning out well for them. So we'll see. But yeah,
Hmm.
safe lane for Benny would make a lot of sense. Is their final pick here? You could go for. Uh,
Go for what? What do you have in mind?
I was thinking Lifestealer to be safe, but you're running triple melee core into the Lina at that point, and that's pretty rough.
Yeah, it makes Lina's game just so easy.
Maybe you just go for
I'm
like a
thinking that it has to
Medusa.
be something with. I mean, even then, I feel like Medusa is not great against the Lina. I think you need something with a little bit more jump. They go for a Sand King instead, so we're probably going
Mini
to be
Sand
seeing
King.
this. Yeah, maybe. I mean, you
Yeah,
said it was going to be Mini Monkey King. We'll either see that. I mean, Mars can even be played in position 5. We can see Weaver on the position 1. The only hero that we're certain that it's going to be played as support here is going to be the Lich.
you're
That's
actually
the only thing I
right.
feel confident enough to say. Yeah,
You're right. Everything else can be swapped around with APU's draft because they do that a
yeah.
lot.
Mhm.
Mini is something that he's
Yeah,
played the Sand King. Yesterday, when they picked this, Sand King was played by Sexy Fat, though. And they ran
yeah,
the Mars in the 5 position, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah. But that didn't end
But
up going well for them.
yeah, but now you've got Lich, and you definitely don't want to run a 5 Mars when you have a Lich. So I you have to pick something that goes well into the mid lane of Lina. Your best hero mid into Lina is the Mars because of the Bulwark. That's about it. That's the only thing that I can really think of. Unless Mini
Mhm.
has some sick plays that you can make on his Sand King.
I mean, Monkey could go there as well, and then they could run the Weaver 1 and then Mars in position 5 if they so choose.
Yeah.
I feel like the Monkey King got enough distance from Alina because your melee attack is actually a little bit of a ranged attack that Luna is just not going to completely body you. You have a decent amount of armor to work with as well, so auto attack's not going to be able to harass you down. Um, hmm.
I'm really curious what Wildcard want for the offlane here because you do need something with a little bit more of like team fight potential. Right now, you've got a lot of stuns, a lot of control, but you need that AoE control now. The Tidehunter is already banned. So I'm wondering what they decide to go for. It could be a Centaur, but you're into a Mars, which is like what feels so rough.
I mean, Centaur's yeah, it's not great into the Mars.
And if
It's
it's a
great for
Monkey
chasing
King
heroes down
1,
and jumping, running a backline, but yeah, I don't think Centaur is going to be the case here either. They didn't have a ton of options, and they end up going for the Veno here. They don't have any Dispel on the side of APU King and King, so it's like going to be Benny on the Monkey King. So it
yeah,
is
Mini Mars.
position 1, Jupiter on the Weaver, Mini Mars, and then yeah, Sexy Fat on the Sand King.
So this is what I thought was the most likely outcome because Mars is the
Hmm.
only hero that like really stands out as a decent lane matchup into the Lina because of like we said Bulwark and Sexy Fat's comfortable enough on his Sand King. Devi Lama's Venomancer here is pretty rough to deal with though. I'm a little
Yeah,
curious how that's going to go in this off lane. You don't have a lot of tanky heroes here though, so if Benny puts like an early point in Primal Spring, they actually can get really aggressive with the Lich, like Frost Blast, like Frost Shield into like Primal Spring. They can actually take down the Venomancer.
mhm.
So this is gonna be a lot of fighting in the top lane. I think I'm excited, man. This is gonna be a sick game.
Oh, I I look at both these lineups, and I think that both of them take team fights fairly slowly with the amount of damage they do. And that's why Venomancer is such a good hero, because they'll just be able to whittle people down. S is going to be able to finish people off fairly quickly. But I'm not, even though you don't have a ton of like heavy burst damage on APU King of Kings, Wildcard's heroes aren't extremely tanky either. I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about these team fights. I'm going to favor. I'm going to favor Wildcard for game number 2 as well. I know I favored them the first game with their draft, and they ended up incredibly disappointing me. Fell apart, absolutely destroyed, GG'd out before their tier 2 tower went down in the mid lane. But I believe in them this time. Smile.
Nice. Love it. Love it. So one thing to note, we got a little bit of some clarity. I want to make sure that everyone knows that neither myself nor the lobby admins were at fault last game for the lobby ticker. It was a client bug, a literal client-side bug.
I don't believe you.
Which is pretty ridiculous. It makes sense with how many bugs there are in the game. You know, heroes like Venomancer and Weaver just bugging up the game, but
I'm sensing a pattern here.
Nina says, or sorry, our admin says that he hates you and he never wants to see you again.
that's a lie. I asked him and he said he loves me.
All right. He was furious when you talked about the ticket being his fault.
I mean, the thing that was so weird is it was showing up client side for me, so it wasn't anything that was like production wise. So just an error, a bug with the client. All right, Mirana, arrow sets up. They get the Gale. First blood goes the way of Divine Llama. They try to go for the denies, and they will be able to chase down the Venomancer here. So a 1-for-1 trade.
Yeah, Jupiter find the kill off from Divine Llama there. I'm not sure what he's going to get with this gold. Ooh, a healing cell. That was only worth 141 gold.
Well, he got the first blood and then died, right? So you lose a little bit. First blood's not entirely reliable, right?
How is a kill worth such little money? A ward is almost worth that much.
What, you mean the Divine Llama kill is only the 140?
Look at that, 100. Yeah, 100 gold for a ward, 141 gold for a hero.
Yeah. Dude, do you remember when like early game kills were worth like 200 to 300 gold and how broken it was?
Yeah, bring that back.
No.
That guy just died with no consequences.
No, that was the worst.
How is a ward worth almost as much as a hero?
Oh, dude, those were nightmare times.
Who came up with this idea? Catch the
catches
game.
Weaver. Yeah, Weaver's dead. Divine Llama now the second kill of the game. They are gonna, I mean, they're not gonna try lane, like they are gonna send the Bane top, but they just used his rotation here in the bottom to help secure a kill. Serum down here now with the Monkey King.
Oh, the arrow ends up landing. Divine? Are you paying attention? He doesn't go for it. I'm not sure if you caught that.
I was like slowly kind of going back and forth between top because we just saw the TPs come back in top and a little bit of harassment coming out.
Yeah, Divine, the arrow ends up landing, almost bringing down Serum, but Divine Llama is more focused on CSing, so he ended up going for that kill. Top lane, Jupiter, gone on by Sammy. Torrent follow up, but he does have Scoochie still.
Sam doesn't have any regen, so that courier needs to get here fast. And if it dies, oh boy.
Yeah,
needs
thankfully
to be very
they don't.
careful.
Yeah. These last couple of games, they have put up vision over by the enemy's lane where the couriers come in, wherever Weaver's playing. But this game, they don't have any observers over there, so he's not gonna be able to snipe the courier on the way in.
Arrow connects. Alex just gets the kill. That perfectly sets up an urn now. As they just get super aggressive onto the Monkey King. Oh no, this lane.
He's dead.
It is getting real rough. He's gonna just dive the tower. Double kill for Alex on the Mirana. All right, the game's pretty much the exact opposite of what we saw last time in terms of lanes. We saw APU off to a bunch of early kills. Alex, he does have a salve, so he should be fine.
He thinks about suiciding to neutral. Oh god, he's too far up now, and he doesn't have any leap charges. He just dies.
Okay. He just
serious
decided
misplay.
not to use his salve or anything.
Yeah.
You were right. He wanted to go for the suicide play, but did not get a chance to do it.
Yeah, I think at that point realized that he was coming in there on the Lich.
This is what I was talking about. If you give them the
Picking up the
space,
Lich?
yeah, you can chase down the Veno here. The arrow's off the mark. They're just going to try and chase down Divine Llama. The urn does come out. Body blocks there from Alex.
How long
So
do we go
it's not that you don't have kill threat in this bottom lane. It's just it does require them to be a little bit out of position, and Alex just clicks down the Lich instead. 0 armor with that Blightstone debuff.
What a game.
All right, I said these side lanes are going to be a bloodbath. We already have 7 kills in 3 minutes.
Yeah, we haven't had the chance to touch on mid yet. This one actually going in favor of the Mars at the moment. He's forced to move over here, the neutral creeps. But 150 net worth ahead of Lena, and really up on him on last hits. It can be a little bit misinforming when hero moves over to the small camps, especially after stacking it, just because these small creeps are worth so much less than lane creeps. So it's important that you switch between net worth and creep score. Otherwise, it could be give people the false impression that somebody's winning a lane harder than they are.
Yeah, it's like if 8 of those creeps are from the small, or 6 of those creeps are from the small
the
camp,
kobolds.
you know, that's like 2 lane creeps.
Yeah.
Weaver getting ready to set up for the water rune at the 4-minute mark. They've also brought in Serum from the bottom lane. So Esk needs to be very careful here. If they're going to go for the dive, and it looks like they will spear just off the mark from Mini.
No. But Mini's not, or sorry, Esk isn't going to be allowed to pick up either of these water runes, but he's about to lose his courier to Esk. He gets the boots off of them before it goes down, just barely. But not great. At the very least, he'll be back up in another minute and 40 seconds. I'm not sure he would have had too many items by then. Lich. Gets hit by an arrow.
Sam, top lane as well. He's going to tick down, so ends up falling to the Weaver. It looks like this Lich is not panning out as much as they may have hoped in this bottom lane, as the Mirana is just absolutely demolishing it. And now Benny getting chased into the trees. Defy Llama just trying to get some vision of him. And there it is, just kiting him out. Starstorm comes through. Killing spree now for Alex. He has a leap to try and get away from the Weaver, but it looks like he's going to tick down to the creeps. 4 HP. He lives. And now turns it around with Defy Llama, the Gale, plus the Urn, and the Poison Sting. What level is this Gale? That is a level 2 Gale. That is a lot of damage.
Yeah, it hurts, it does. I think if he had another point of the Gale, then Weaver would just be dead.
Just gonna get salved up to stay in the lane, but top lane, Eves takes down Sexy Fat, so... Oh my goodness!
This is exactly what I want, Ricky. I wanted a bloodbath to start the day out. There's no series better than this one. But that's still, I suppose, to be determined.
We got a lot of
March is about to
hit
hit level 6. One more creep to make it happen.
He's got to be a little bit careful, though. Esk does do a lot of damage.
Yeah. They wanted to rotate the Lich in there. I'm not sure if Serum ended up eating any of the XP from that creep wave. I think he may have. But they wanted to come in with the arena and finish off Esk here. But
how did Benny get over here?
Into him.
Benny's just chasing Sam at the tier 2.
He's just monkeying around.
Oh, he misses the boundless strike. Oh, no. All right, well... Mini will find him eventually. He denies the bounty rune. Oh my god, Sam is just breaking ankles, dude. He gets the kill. Oh no. No. Top lane, they find Eves. He gets the bow down. It will be able to stun up the Monkey King, but he's in a pretty rough spot himself. They're going to be able to wrap around to the backside, though. Boundless Strike does come through. Alex gets him with the Starstorm.
Yeah. Mistimes that dodge there. But it starts from it's a little bit difficult to see exactly when it comes down under your hero. Mirana player might be able to dodge that, but as a Monkey King, it is kind of tricky.
Top mid lane. Nightmare. Arrow to come right on through. Will connect onto the Weaver, and does he have the damage to finish him off? Brain Sap. One more auto tech beat survives. No, the stick. Not enough. Another kill going the way of Wildcard. A 4-11.
Was he dusted?
The Weaver? I don't think so.
Yeah. He died right here. That's where his body was. I'm not sure if you can see my pings.
I can't, but I see where he died.
I can circle it.
His Sakuchi might have ended right as the attack connected or something.
No, if he gets out of the vision during his Sakuchi, how the mechanic works is the auto attack will miss even if your Sakuchi ends when you're over here. If your Sakuchi ended right here, you get the disjoint.
Yeah, maybe he was dusted then. They have dust on Mirana. They might have. I didn't see the animation for it though.
No, she just got dust again.
I'm just blind.
I don't think.
My boomer eyes.
Yeah. I can see the edge of the vision be like right here though,
Yeah.
and he died there. That didn't seem right. I'm gonna investigate this one after the match. Sexy Fat, bottom lane.
He's just trying to stand his ground against the Venomancer lane because you can't have this Monkey King here anymore.
Yeah,
And he's
but
got
they
the
don't want
Helm
to chase him
Iron
into
Will. He's
Sandstorm.
semi-tanky.
Yeah, if he had 9 stick charges as well, if they chased him in there and he managed to get another burrow strike off on them or swerves around into the trees, they do end up dying into the sandstorm. So they decide to back off there, not give this up to Sexy Fat. They're doing decent in these lanes. No use to make it any easier for APU. Top lane, Bo comes out.
Yeah. Eve's trying to make his way back to the tower. All right, Moonlight Shadow's enough. Ends up getting the X into the Torrent. They find the Weaver. The crit damage is there from that Tidebringer, and Nightmare onto the Lich will buy him a little bit of space. Gets salved up even as the boat debuff is expiring, and Eves looks like he's going to be okay. Benny, Bound the Strike does connect onto the Bane, continuing the chase. Mini here as well. They've got a Spear to finish it off, and they will use it. So getting their 5th kill of the game.
Nice find. And I mean, all while this is happening, Divide Llama's trying to put a little bit more pressure down here on the bottom tier 2. He's struggled a little bit with this one though. He's got multiple points in the pipe ward. I'm not sure why he ended up putting this point into Poison Nova.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a strange one. A lot of people skip Poison Nova at 6.
Until it's at level 2, yeah.
But mid lane, Arena comes out onto Esk. That should be more than enough damage. Arrow will hold Mars in place for the moment. Divide Llama with the rotation on in, easily grabbing this kill. Alex now unstoppable, 8-1 on the Mirana. So quite a different performance from him as we saw last game on his Spirit Breaker. He was so poor, but now he's becoming that like borderline 4th carry for his team.
4th core. 4 carries is more of a turbo mode thing.
Oh yeah, 4th core. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Well, happy to see him in much better shape for game number 2 here. Mid lane, we're about to see some action, it looks like.
Nightmare onto the Lich. Arrow, not available. Where is the arrow? Oh, he hit something in mid lane instead.
I think he was... When the hell did he hit? I was going to say I thought he went for the catapult, but I don't think he did.
I think he was throwing it at the Lich and just happened to hit a creep like right next to him.
Yeah. Unfortunate. I mean, he'll go for the catapult next year.
And
Come on.
he doesn't need to. He can just last hit it. Oh.
Ooh, very... You should have looked away, man.
Unfortunate damage roll, because typically the mid tower is supposed to be 3 and 2 auto attacks, depending on your damage rolls, but...
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ricky.
You're
now
welcome.
you guys can last hit catapults. You guys, including me. Spirit Vessel completed now on the Venomancer. I think Divide could just go for the Weaver here.
He could, but
He's got 9 wand charges.
It's not worth going for the Weaver, but yeah, he's going to be able to get caught by the Arena there from Mars, and that's a pretty good amount of damage going to come through from the Poison Nova as well as the Poison Sting and Weaver. Yeah, just night. Oh, they end up a little bit misplaying this. Some miscommunication from Sam and Alex. That's going to allow him to actually survive.
Yeah, no way he survives otherwise.
Yeah, you definitely go for the guaranteed Nightmare into Arrow, right? Rather than just going for the Starstorm.
And Starstorm into being blocked by Nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's actually multiple ways to dodge that one. The Starstorm never ended up coming down because it won't target an invulnerable hero. Or you can block the damage with the Nightmare as it tries to connect with your hero. So there's a big window of misplaying that one. And of course they did there.
They're hunting for Mini in the mid lane, but don't manage to find him. Meanwhile, Divide Llama continuing to push bottom. He does have the Spirit Vessel completed, so he is still very dangerous on this Venomancer despite just having died. Sexy Fat got a Blink Dagger. He comes in big epicenter onto 2, but isn't enough damage. S falling low, trying to get the bug off him, but he's still inside the swarm. They'll grab him with the bounce there from that Chain Frost, so you get the kill onto the Lina. A big one at that as the tower still barely surviving. Sam, wondering if he can go in. Drops a good ward here behind the tower. He's going for the deny. They're not going to let him get it. Oh, nice tumble toy action there. Sarah makes it out on the far side, though. They're looking
Could
for
you be
sexy
tumbling?
fat. Oh, he's so close. You can almost smell him. A blink in 1. Where are you going, sexy fat? Oh,
They see him with the arrow for a moment.
he blinks south right onto a
Oh
ward.
no!
Oh, I mean, do they end up getting this eventually? Gale does connect.
They have 2 dust. 1 on Alex, 1 on Sammy. Ask is gonna come in as well. I mean, this guy is making all the space in the world.
He's definitely gonna die.
Yeah, but
Okay, there he goes.
I feel like that's not worth it.
That's a lot of time spent.
That's a lot of time by a lot of heroes. I don't know. Benny took the top tier 1 tower during all of this. I'm not sure if you noticed.
I did kind of like I saw
Yeah.
that it was missing from the map, but didn't make a note of it.
Yeah, I mean, they lose a tier 1 tower while they're going for him. That happened a little bit before they spent so much time, but they teleport a lot of heroes down there. They rotate all the heroes over to the mid lane now. This did give the Monkey King a lot of time. He's not going for like any farming items though. Oh, they have vision of him.
Oh, he goes for the Fiend's Grip. Nightmare does catch Mars. They're going to be able to toss it around. The arrow connects, plus the both are just both stunned. Oh, no. The worst possible series of events there for APU. They managed to get out on the Monkey King. He goes to try and save him from the Nightmare the moment he gets hit from an arrow, so they're just both chain stunned. Oh.
Yeah, into the double boat too. And that's your hero that's supposed to be there in order to defend the tier 1 tower with no Monkey King in order to threaten you with the epicenter burrow strike with that blink dagger. You get to easily take this mid tier 1, and that's going to give you extra control over the map. So now, going to invade the jungle of APU King of Kings. Benny thinking about standing his ground, but I don't think he stands a chance if Wildcard comes full force at him.
Yeah, it's going to be very scary. They do have good ward vision here to play around, but again, when you have this Venomancer, it's no fun at all. Gale just off the mark will be able to save Serum here.
Yeah.
If
This
it
is close to
connects, you
tier
just
2
throw the
tower.
vessel and you get a kill, but...
Yeah. It was close to the tier 2 tower though, and they do see Kunkka is up on the top lane without them right now, so APU, they're more than happy to try to take a fight against Wildcard, and Wildcard, they recognize that, forced to back off.
Eves has the phase boots when a lot of times what we see out of safe lane Kunkka are going for these boots of travel, so you can go for this like X split push into the side lanes, but I guess because you have the Venomancer, you don't have to do that as much. Like Veno is just kind of planted in a side lane and just stays there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Sam walks into 4. Easy kill there for APU.
And now they get to reclaim their jungle, and then they're down without the Bane for a little bit, and they see.
Goodbye, Catapult. Nice shot there from Alex. Mini?
They're going to invade the enemy team's jungle. They can't actually hold this triangle, though. They're wasting their time up here. So this could be good.
They have such a hard
Wildcard.
time pushing this mid tower because anytime a hero comes forward to try and do something, there's the threat of the arrow setup, right? In the form of Nightmare or the X. And so there's just not a lot of options. Oh, Blink Burrow Strike onto the Bane. The arena to follow. Yes, you got one. Can you get more is the question. Divine Llama TPing in. Caught by a bug. Gonna have to get rid of that one.
You commit quite a bit for position 5. But they're just going to back up afterwards. So 70 seconds without arena. Wildcard could look to make a play in that time. Weaver ended up, the reason he invaded the triangle was just to block creep camp. So he ended up blocking the enemy team's ancients and then clears out the enemy hard camp afterwards.
Yeah, pretty smart.
I don't know. I felt like he was wasting a lot of time up there. They're chasing him down now. It does stop them from farming. He's being a nuisance for sure on Jupiter. But I'm not sure how useful it actually is in the grand scheme of things.
Classic Weaver.
I'm sure he feels like he's doing a lot.
Ooh, does he have a Yules? Gets him with the dust. Yules comes out. Arrow, perfectly timed. The Torrent through as well. Can he finish him in time? He does. Eves gets the kill with the Torrent. All right, nice find there. It's bound to happen eventually. You can't always get away on the Weaver.
Was playing with that a little bit too long as well. Now Wildcard gonna group up here. Everyone coming back together.
Divine Llama setting up an army of wards in the mid lane to protect the tower. Gets the D ward as well. Sam did scout that one out a little bit earlier. Blink forward. Arrow? No way. Is that going to connect? Okay, just off the mark. Blink Venomancer, Neph.
That's normal.
I know. Well, normally you just don't see it this early. A lot of heroes end up like going for like a really late game Blink Dagger, right? With like an Arcane Blink for Poison Nova cooldown and stuff, but...
I mean, you want to be able to get on top of people. So I mentioned this at the start of the game. Like, both these teams do damage pretty slowly. And because there's no burst, he's always going to be able to get his Poison Nova off. And the fight's going to continue for quite a while. And Lena's going to be able to whittle people down or finish them off as they try to come forward. So as long as he just gets his Poison Nova off in the team fights, I think he's contributing enough this game.
Yeah,
so that's a logic behind the Blink Dagger.
Top lane, big arena, holds down Bane, but the Poison Nova's on to 2 if Divine Llama can stick on him. Should be able to follow it up. Alex comes in. They could be able to grab Benny. Spirit Vessel plus the Gale. He can't go anywhere. Light Strike Array on the mark as he's just beat down by the Lina.
Mars
Alex
is dead.
in a little bit of trouble, but the Weaver unable to finish him off. Gets the time lapse. And that is the effect of the Venomancer as Mars ends up taking out anyway, even in the fountain. So 4 heroes die. A triple kill for Divine Llama's Venomancer.
Yeah. Again, that's one of the reasons why the hero is super strong in this game. There's no instant damage. They can't blow up this Venomancer. They're never going to be able to kill him before he gets his Poison Nova up. Even if he blinks in and gets immediately stunned by the enemy team, a lot of time they're going to survive what he has unless they chain stun him perfectly and use everything on him. At that point, you've ignored Lina too much. So it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't scenario. And he's got a lot more options now that he's got this Blink Dagger. So very nice triple kill. And if you look in this team fight here, I'm not sure if you can pull up death recap.
Well,
almost 3,100 damage from this Venomancer.
They're gonna find Benny. He just jumped up onto the high ground. Spirit Vessel Gale right on top of him. Fiend's Grip catches the Sand King as well. Serum just trying to deward what high ground vision they have, but it's a little bit too little too late. As they're gonna fall one by one, and Benny down to below half of his HP just from this Venomancer. Gale comes out, catches the Weaver. Does have time lapse in a couple seconds. They're gonna smoke up on the backside of the fight here.
Yep. Look at back for now. All out of mana on all these heroes. I'm trying to think about their way back into this game. Weaver, I mean, he realizes there's way too much damage coming, match damage coming up from these enemy heroes, so he's just going for his BKB. Oh.
That was very weird. The arrow just happened to connect perfectly as Divine Llama came in. He did get the Gale, and that will allow them to set up another kill there onto Mini. Doesn't have that BKB quite yet, and until you do, every single hero on APU is so vulnerable.
As the Weaver saying goes.
What's the Weaver saying?
So vulnerable.
See, you can tell I'm not a Weaver player. I'm not a disgusting MMR abuser.
Of course, you're a MMR charity, right?
Yes, I try to donate to the MMR people that are less fortunate than me, that have yet to accrue as much as I have in my life. I steal it from the rich and give it to the poor.
Yeah. Right. That was a nice recovery. Monkey King is forced to get back out of the top lane there. He's playing around a little bit too far forward. He finished, he's almost finished his BKB. He needs another 300 net worth. Mars, 1,450 off of his. Oh,
they got vision of Mini, but there's smoked heroes right in front of him. Sam, gonna find Sexy Fatty, goes for the Burrow Strike. Will connect. Benny coming on in on the backside. There's gonna be the LSA on top of him. Benny tries to go for the Wukong's command. He's hugging the corner perfectly, but he still ends up falling to Eves there. Gets him with the Torn, and now the rest of the team trying to hobble away, but Divine Llama comes in on the Venomancer, slowing up that Sand King. Arrow not gonna connect, but doesn't matter. They got plenty of damage. Weaver forced out of the fight completely. The X does find Serum, the boat to follow. And one after another, they crumble to Wildcard. Triple kill going the way of the Kunkka.
And a courier for good measure, with the EXP tome on it as well. So it's going to be a little while before Weaver hits his level 12 or 13 for that matter.
You managed to get out on Mini, I guess, but boy, this is looking rough, man. An 11,000 gold lead now, 22 minutes into the game. Wildcard spinning game 2 quite a bit in their favor now.
I've been trying to think about a way that APU Kings can come back to this one. I guess it's just the BKBs, but Wildcard, they're playing fast enough. They're not giving them the time to farm these up. And now straight to the Roche Pit.
The thing is once you have the BKBs, yes, you ignore the Venomancer's damage, but you now have a Kunkka and a Lina that have a lot of physical damage. right? Like
Yeah.
this Kunkka has a Chrysalis. He's on his way to his Silver Edge. He's almost got that completed. You've got Lina, who also has a Chrysalis on her way to a Satanic. So it just doesn't feel like there's a lot of answers, even once you have the BKBs. Like we saw in this last fight, Lina just crushing this Monkey King.
Yeah, and he did end up getting the Wallium, but the Torrent, the slow damage on that one ended up finishing him off, or rather the delayed damage. So I think that they have ways back into this if they get into the late game, but they're not getting there. And when they do, I mean, we saw it a little while ago, PSG LGT on the Venomancer setting up damage records on the hero.
Oh my god, yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, the ultra late game, this hero definitely works wonders, especially if you don't have any heavy burst damage. Neither of these teams do. Monkey King is an amazing hero in the ultra late game once you get like Arcane Blink and Refresher Orb with Divine Rapier, but that is a very tall order. We're 23 minutes in and they're working on the last of these towers outside of the base. At that point, you're boxed in. You're already up 11k net worth. They're not going to get to the late game on APU King of Kings, it looks like.
Yeah, they're going for an Iascati now on the Monkey King, just doing something to stay on top of this Lina, and it is quite a good utility for doing that, but they are knocking on your high ground like you were talking about, tier 3 under siege, and it falls fast. Like, they've got plenty of damage to do this.
Yeah.
Sand King's Sandstorm quite annoying, but Dust does come out from Sam just off the mark as he gets the blink out. Arrow not going to connect either, but again, it's the base just crumbling. They do have no creeps though, so well done. They cut both lanes top, or both waves top. Very, very, very sick job.
Look at the rain tracks. They're forced to back off afterwards.
Oh, they smoke. Eves goes in trying to find these enemy heroes. He gets his vision right onto the Lich. He does have the Aegis, of course, so gonna be surviving for now, but Tvylama with a big initiation. Grabs Benny with this Poison Nova, forcing that BKB. Sam stuck inside the arena. Not carrying all that much, it seems. Finally gonna go down, but Mini is BKB spent. He's gonna have to just get brought right back in, pumps that toggle, but the break is there, just getting crushed. Benny still ticking down to the Poison Nova on the backside, can't get back into it. You buy back on Sam, you buy back on the Sand King. They find the Weaver here for the moment. He's gonna be forced to BKB. Big crit comes through. He's trying to toggle, but he's just running underneath the sentry.
Eves. He's been toggling through this damage the last like 15-30 seconds here.
He
They just can't finish him off.
the Aegis, man.
Yeah, he's not going to send himself back to base. He's going to do this X-Mark to spot for the Lina. This guy is so confident. So much damage coming up from the Kunkka in that team fight. 5,000 damage from him with a couple of cleaves from the Tidebringer.
This guy is so farmed, dude. 16,800 net worth, almost 17,000 net worth. This is a farmed boy. He's got plenty of money sitting on until his next item. Sam thinking of going in to find a hero here. Next, Torrent will connect. Nice bro strike to dodge the arrow.
That's not going to
He
take
comes in, big arena, ends up whipping the spear though. Yule's perfectly timed force the BKB. Sexy Fat doesn't go in with the epicenter again. Kunkka still got that Aegis. They're looking for Benny, forcing that BKB.
Yeah, but this is before he's got Wukong's command up, so he's not able to stand his ground. Sexy Fat tried to jump back in, but he's going to regret that one.
There's the boat, baby. Sexy Fat. Super dead.
Just like that, they get the rags, they find themselves another kill, and they're forced to get out now. Sand King on dieback. They might just run down the mid lane. They're feeling so confident. No BKB up on the Monkey King for another 50 seconds. Yes, he's got Wukong's command.
Nice spear. Catches the Kunkka. He's still got the BKB, though. If they can keep him alive just long enough, Nightmare's going to be able to buy in that time. And now, Time-Lapse already popped on the Weaver. He's going to try and make his way into the base. Mars broken once again from the Silver Edge. In comes Alex. Tries to force himself away. Can Eves toggle through it all? He cannot this time. Laguna Blade will find the kill, but there's the Fiend's Grip onto the Monkey King. The Poison Nova connects onto 2 as well. And Sam will survive that damage. Serum trying to do what he can. Spirit Vessel connects. He's trying to TP back to the fountain.
Can he survive the down?
No
the
chance.
Spirit Vessel on him.
No chance. Way too much damage coming out from the Venomancer. 4 heroes dead. Buyback available on the Monkey King, but this is looking like Wildcard trying to close this one out.
Yeah, looking to tie up this series. You can beat him once, but nobody gets Wildcard Gaming twice in a row, right? Right?
There's a lot of tournament left to be played. All right, Weaver hiding off onto the side here. Wondering if he can maybe get in onto this Bane. They actually don't have a sentry, but doesn't matter. They get 2 lanes of barracks, only costs you your Kunkka. And I think a
Yeah, and
buyback on Sammy earlier, but that's pretty value.
Looking to close this one out as well. Going for the outpost, going to take that. Actually, I thought they'd go straight down for the tier 2 and try to take that one there. But Ask pretty low on mana right now. Oh, come on!
What do you mean? There's nothing
Just
wrong
find
here.
a regen rune?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. A little bit
Thank
of
you,
Gabe and
Gabe.
clap. A little bit of Gabe and clap. Scan does come out bottom. Divine Llama hiding in the trees. I mean, you got to be so scared on APU here. The Kunkka, you got to know he's coming in soon. Divine Llama off the mark with the Gale. He does have the Aeon Disc completed, just currently locked in his inventory. Ward placed up on the high ground. So Wildcard, they have the high ground advantage, but it's so scary diving the tower. Aghanim Scepter completed on the Mirana. So this is going to scout everything, and it's going to catch the Sand King. That's a rough
can't
one.
do it without his damage.
Light Strike Array does come through. Big Arena catching the Lina right in the center. She's going to be forced to BKB, try to run away, but it's not enough. Brought down by Benny as well as Mini. Divine Llama, 3-hero Poison Nova. The Gale connects, plus the Spirit Vessel. Okay. They got the damage. Godlike spree for Alex. Able to time-lapse out of it on the Weaver. Divine Llama looking to get the Benny, but he gets the TP out. Meanwhile, Sam catches the Lich as he's trying to escape. Doesn't need to commit the Fiend Script for this one. Eves comes in, hits him with the Tidebringer. And of course, ticks out on the Weaver anyway.
Yeah. Not going to be able to survive that Poison Nova. APU, they finally needed the start of that team fight. Amazing setup by the Monkey King and the Mars, getting the stuns off onto our end, pulling him back into the rest of the team. But even that, even getting the hero that's so important to their team fight, it's not enough at this point. 21k net worth advantage on the side of APU. It doesn't help they end up losing Sand King. I mean, his Epicenter Burrow Strike setup in these team fights, the damage is so important to them.
Oh, he goes in, Epicenter right on top of the Kunkka. He's able to dodge the Boundless Strike. Eves, is it enough space for him to actually escape, though? The bow connects, he gets the kill! And a Fiend's Grip onto the Monkey King. Okay. This Kunkka has gotten away with just a little bit too much this game, and now he's just going to XTP to base.
Yeah,
Meanwhile, Divine Llama dropping
moment.
his items, having a good time. Spearow back into the high ground. Mirana executed by Mini. Nicely done. Gale off the mark. Nightmare onto the Weaver. This is sketch. I don't know if you go for this one. Torrent. Ooh, nice Force Staff to buy him some space. And he catches him with the
side of the wall. She has to go in.
Very sick done. Can Eves actually chase this down, though, is the question. All right, Divine Llama blinks and catch him with the Gale, catch him with the Spirit Vessel, and S. Just going to dump a couple spells in as well. That Mars, no chance he survives this one.
Keeps him up for a moment. Ask does BKB there. I think worried about, I'm not so sure what, or just confident that she doesn't need it coming up here.
Oh, Divine Llama playing with him. He wanted to go for like a Force Staff Gaze, but
yeah,
he's out.
So against all odds, they'll keep their last racks alive without their core heroes up. And to go back in one more time. Burrow Strike on cooldown for another 6 seconds here.
They're going to buy back the Mars. No Arena, but it's enough to force Wildcard back. They do not want to throw this one as X going to allow them to just regen completely here on the Venomancer as he's queuing up that Aghanim Scepter, one of those items that is just so deadly in these late game fights.
Yeah, and Captain Sammy,
and he goes Shivas instead. Never mind.
Yeah. Captain Sammy draws a line over from where they were at the bottom lane over into the Roche pit, signaling that it is up, you guys, the next minute and a half here. Want to take every advantage we can get before we end up closing this game out. I think they were expecting to breach the high ground there, but some couple good plays there by APU Kings stop them from doing
Smoked
so.
right under a ward. They know exactly where they're going.
I will say, Mini's been on point with these initiations. He's one of the driving forces.
Yeah,
the fact that they're still in this game, I think, is just due to him. Yeah, in the previous game as well, he played super well on the Monkey King.
Ooh, Divine Llama is going to grab the Arcane Rune. He sees them all, hits the Gale. Does he go for the Poison Nova? Not quite yet. In comes the Epicenter, finding Alex a lot of damage with the BKBs from all 3 cores there. They're going to try and turn around and just chase down the Mars. Serum in some trouble. Divine Llama up on the high ground. There's the Poison Nova. Catches Betty. He's under a ward, and they get him with the Fiend's Grip. 3 heroes dead. Sexy Fat makes it 4. A DD rune just makes it that much easier for Esk as they go right into the Roche pit, and the GG gets called, knowing that this one is over. They tie the series 1-1.
Wildcard Gaming looking in great shape. Game number 2. That Venomancer pick coming out last, doing so much damage to these heroes. It took them a little while to take that tier 1 tower in the bottom lane, but looking great here in game number 2. I was a little bit concerned about this game. I thought that the Monkey King pick would be solid for being able to chase these heroes down, but I think the damage they had on APU King just came out a little bit too slow. You couldn't actually finish off any of these heroes fast enough, and this Kunkka, it felt like they never had the damage to get him. Eves was just so tanky on this hero. He got away with murder with these armlet tops in some of these team fights. I got to give him credit where credit's due, but
yeah, he played super well.
I think part of this is just due to a drafting issue from APU Kings as well. So they showed up Wildcard last picking that Venomancer and taking advantage of it, some of their weaknesses with their constant aggression. They never gave him a chance to finish up these BKBs, never gave him the chance to farm. Just started pushing these high ground, taking these towers super early.
Yeah,
I mean, see it, man.
I agree. I actually thought game 1 draft was, in my opinion, favorable for Wildcard. I think they just misplayed a little bit. Game 2, they kind of just brought it all together. We see, how strong this offlane was. They just had no opportunity to contest on this Lich Monkey King, and from there it just kind of snowballed. Honestly, the Wildcard just hitting all their timings, itemizing perfect. But yeah, still a tied series, so it's gonna go 1-1. That is, still pretty solid for both teams. There's still plenty of the group stage still to be played, but we've got a lot more Dota here today. And coming up next is going to be Infamous versus DogChamp, another North America versus South America. In fact, all 3 of the series today are North America versus South America. So
yeah, I love to see
very
it.
cool. So we're going to go to a short break, everyone. Stay tuned for more here on the BTS Pro Series Season 10. We'll see you in a bit.